Okay. This is a video I was wanting to make for a while now, but I didn't. But now I will. I don't know how to say it. But, yeah, so this video is about the controversy of Hasbro and TAKARA TOMY Beyblades. In this video, you hear my opinions on both, my personal thoughts on both, and which one do I think you should personally support. Let's get to the video. Now, before I give my opinions, I'll say it again, my opinions, just so the Hasbro and TAKARA TOMY fans won't kill me in the comments section. It's my opinion, you guys have yours, and I totally respect that, but don't trash on mine just because it's what I like. Now let's actually get onto the video. So before I answer all the questions I asked you guys and myself in the beginning, we need to go step by step, and that's by going on both of their, history of making bays. And we're going to start off with TAKARA TOMY. TAKARA TOMY is perceived as the Japanese one, the one where they make the Japanese authentic tops more than the Hasbro one where it's more American. But TAKARA TOMY, they're actually really good tops. They make really good tops. I mean, they make really anime accurate tops. That's something I probably look for in bays. That's the thing I look for almost the most in bays, is that they look good. A bay can be trash and I would still use it because it looks good, I wouldn't want to get a bay that, well, if it looks bad and performs bad, that's just adds on the worstness. But if it looks good, but it performs bad, I can kind of excuse it. But if it looks bad and performs bad, that's just no. TAKARA TOMY doesn't have most of those. They come in boosters. Their launchers are incredible. Their bays are also incredible. They come with anime accurate parts that sometimes Hasbro skips up on, which kind of triggers me. But yeah, TAKARA TOMY, they make accurate bays, which is something I look for. They don't make them look ugly. They make them perform well, most of them at least. And a good thing that sets Hasbro and TAKARA TOMY bays apart is that TAKARA TOMY has teeth. Now I know with Hasbro's most recent line of toys, they have made the Pro Series. I personally don't own any Pro Series, but of what I heard that Pro Series, they have teeth, but they wear. We're not going to go into Hasbro yet, but Hasbro, yeah, most of their bays are slopes. Which ones do I personally prefer? Honestly, I personally prefer slopes. That's my opinion. But, if, I don't know how to explain it. If TAKARA TOMY had slopes, that would be amazing. But teeth is still good. Just adding on teeth on their bays doesn't make it bad. It just updates their burst resistance. I just want the bays to burst a little more. And that's the whole gimmick. Especially with TAKARA TOMY's, newest releases. They're releasing gimmicks oh, the bays can't burst. Oh, they can't burst. But it's called Beyblade Burst. That's my one issue with TAKARA TOMY, is that, although it is the anime, and, they make unburstable gimmicks. In the anime, I can excuse that, but they also make it in real life, where the whole gimmick of this whole show is that the tops are supposed to burst, burst. But, starting from, especially, I'd say late GT bays, the motor bays on the drivers, even those bays rarely burst. So, I don't know. I think TAKARA TOMY is going down a path that's making their bays too good, if that makes sense. I'm sorry if I'm speaking nonsense right now, but I feel like TAKARA TOMY is walking down a path that makes their bays too good. Now, that's not a bad thing necessarily, but it's not a good thing either. Like I said, the whole gimmick of the show is the base burst. But your Rage Longinus, your World Spriggan, your Bright Valkyrie, they're practically never gonna burst, even against each other. And that's my only issue with TAKARA TOMY. Apart from that, TAKARA TOMY does almost everything good to the Bay aesthetically. It does everything good to the Bay performance-wise, and it can be excused, the power creep. TAKARA TOMY has a lot of power creep. That's the word I was trying to look for. So that's my opinions on TAKARA TOMY. Now let's move on to the lesser side, Hasbro. Let's go. Hasbro. Where do I start? Okay. Gotta get ready for this mentally. Hasbro. Okay. For real though. Hasbro, like I said in the beginning, Hasbro is the more American side of, like, the American toy company that produces Bays. So Hasbro, season 1 and season 2 of their Bays, amazing. They're good for what they went to offer. Burst, hell yeah. Switch Strike, oh yeah. But after that, season 3, it kept most of the gimmicks, but they removed frames. And that's something I already said previously, like, not giving the anime combos triggers me. Like, don't do that. Just give it the parts, man. Okay? Like, I can excuse the chassis disc, but, like, give it the chassis if it's supposed to come with the chassis. Like, Brave Valkyrie, Tram Dragon, come on, dude. Like, in season 3, okay, Kubri's had the chain gimmick. What's another one? Surprising had the dual spin. Like, Bays had gimmicks, but most of them got their frames stripped, and, like, there were no metal. The whole gimmick with the Chozy Turbo, like, line was that the Bays had metal on the layer. Hasbro just completely threw that out the window and made the whole slingshot thing. I honestly really didn't like that at all. I would rather if they just kept on doing, like, Switch Strike, if that makes sense. Not Switch Strike, like, if they kept on doing what Switch Strike did, is what I'm trying to say. Like, if they made Turbo with the Switch Strike stuff, like, where they keep the gimmicks and everything, then yeah, of course, sure, that's amazing. But what they did was not really what I was looking for. Nobody was looking for that. But then we move on to season 4. Oh boy, that's when stuff gets really downhill. No gimmicks, apart from, 1 or 2 bays, like Achilles, and that's it, pretty much. And, yes, you could change the chip and the layer base, but if you really think about it, that doesn't change the performance at all, apart from the burst resistance, which, in a sense, does help the bay. Like, you could give it a good chip and a good ring, and then it fused together as a good bay. But, it adds on to the customization level, but overall, it doesn't really change anything. Because normally with GT, you would have 3 parts, right? You would have the layer base, you would have the layer weight, and you would have the chip. And then the weight, of course, gives it metal on the layer, and you would want to pick a heavier one, depending for what type you use. I'm not going to get deep into that, though. But Hasbro just threw the weight gimmick out of the window also. Hasbro is removing metal. Another instance is Fafnir. Oh boy. Hasbro and Fafnir literally are, like, they hate each other. Hasbro hates Fafnir. First Turbo, they removed the rubber from Turbo, and there wasn't even that much rubber on Geist Fafnir. And then on the Wizard Fafnir, they removed all the rubber again. No rubber twice. Okay, in the 5th season, it is excusable because, they did give it the rubber, but it was on an elevated ring, which hurt the layer more than it helped. And another thing to mention, these bays, most of them, because I know in a few cases, Hasbro makes their bays look really good, but most of them look bad, like, bad. I know there are a lot of Hasbro's fans out there, I'm just getting the negatives out of the way before I go to the positives. Hasbro bays, though, they look not good, okay? They don't look good. Let's be honest. And now we're moving on to the 5th season. Okay. I gotta prepare myself mentally for this. Okay. Hasbro Season 5. You know, I have to admit, it started off strong. The Speedstorm, yeah, sure. You know, the Rocktivore, the Satum, the Helios, the Hyperion, yeah. You know, they all performed well. The stadium was kind of cool, the Volt Knockout. And, yeah, the base performed cool. The only thing that was not anime accurate was the drivers. They're, like, taller and they have metal. But apart from that, you know, Rocktivore had the wings and Satum had the wheels. You know, like, the base had gimmicks. See, Wave 2, you know, Luinor got stripped of the metal, which is not surprising. Hasbro doesn't like metal. So, Fafnir had the rubber, which, okay, but it, like I said, it was elevated. So it didn't help the bay. And then we go on to Wave 3, which is when everything went downhill for Speedstorm. Wave 3, it released Vex Lucius with no barrier. Okay, no barrier. It did come with a 2D chassis disc, which, okay, cool. But there's no barrier. Like, Lucius needs the barrier to be good. I know a lot of TT fans are like, oh no, the barrier made it worse. No, it actually helped it. The Vex ring is absolute trash. You're never gonna use that competitively. It's just Vex Lucius was a total disaster. Mobius doesn't even perform properly. Like, the whole point of Mobius was that it's free spin, so it's supposed to help it, like, with LED. Not at all. And then Tram Dragon. Oh boy. Tram Dragon is missing so much detail. It looks like a TT Bay with no stickers on. That's literally what I think Hasbro did. They just went over to TAKARA TOMY and was like, hey, can I borrow that? And then they're like, but it's not finished yet. They took it anyway, and it was an unfinished TT layer. And then they removed the teeth, put on slopes, put them armed because they didn't have the 1A, and then put on Metal Charge. Metal Charge is actually good, though. I have to give them props for that. Metal Charge is really good. But apart from that, Tram Dragon, dude, did not look good. Did not. And then Helios Blazebringer, Lucius Endbringer, Hyperion Flamebringer, and World's Bryson. These 4 bays are, in my opinion, the most hyped bays of the series. And they just ruined it. I don't know why. Bryson had the dual gimmick, the dual spin, but it wasn't done properly. It was supposed to have the flip gimmick. But Hasbro didn't do that. Why? And for the limit break bays, they didn't even give it the limit break bays. And like I said, if a bay doesn't perform well, but they look good, it would be excusable in my books. But these bays weren't even given the detail. So, at the end of the day, is there any pros of Hasbro? I guess I could salvage a few. In my opinion, I think Hasbro is going for more of the fun aspect, more than the competitive and the good-looking stuff. You know, because TAKARA TOMY, you can argue about it, but TAKARA TOMY is more for competitive play. Hasbro is more for play, like, fun. The playing for fun. But that's the thing that most people don't get. And I didn't get that at first either. Hasbro is meant to have fun with. That's why they do all these wacky gimmicks. It's not supposed to look like the anime. And that's the whole point of it. I personally don't like it, but I can understand their perspective. And the Pro Series was their way of trying to make their fans happy. It failed because of the teeth wear, but they tried, you know? They had the metal, they had the right parts, you know, it was a pretty good thing, apart from the teeth wear and cheap plastic. But, I'm not defending Hasbro. You know, I'm not defending Hasbro. I honestly don't like their mistake. I'm just saying my perspective. I understand where they're coming from, okay? I don't like it, but I understand. If that makes sense. So this was me saying both of these sides. Now, which one do I think you should buy? If you're looking for more higher quality bays and like stronger ones and bays that almost never burst, go for TAKARA TOMY. 1000%. Don't go for Hasbro. If you're in it just for fun or just to test out some like cool wacky gimmicks or just just like I said, to have fun, then try out Hasbro, and if it's not your thing, then go also to TAKARA TOMY. So this was my, I guess, rant video on Hasbro and TAKARA TOMY. Hope you guys liked my opinions. I'm gonna say it again at the end of the video. This is my opinion. I know you guys have different opinions. If you're gonna be like, oh, first defending Hasbro, why are you doing that for? No, I stated previously why. But yeah, you guys have your opinions. You can type them in the comment section. I would actually like that. What's your opinions on both TAKARA TOMY and Hasbro? I will be sure to go check them out and reply to your comments with my opinions on them. And yeah, Fern, I'm signing off. Hope you guys like this rant video. Bye bye.